In this session, we will understand everything that is there to know about SGX Nifty. If you listen to any business news channel in the morning, you would have noticed the news anchors talking about how SGX Nifty is indicating a gap up or gap down of 20 points, 50 points, or even 100 points. So most of the beginners feel puzzled listening to such comments because they don't really understand what SGX Nifty is. So what exactly is SGX Nifty? What is its importance in trading? Is that something we can trade? Should we keep track of that while we are trading? Well, we will answer all these questions in this video. But before we get going, if you are new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe because through this channel, we explain complex stock market concepts in simple and easy way that anyone, even a very beginner, can easily understand them. Alright, let's get into it. So first of all, let's just break these two terms down, right? So SGX refers to Singapore Stock Exchange and Nifty refers to our own Nifty 50 index. So when you put them back together, it makes sense. So SGX Nifty is a futures contract that is traded on the Singapore Stock Exchange. So just like we trade Nifty 50 futures in the Indian Stock Exchange, foreign investors can trade SGX Nifty on the Singapore Stock Exchange. But what is going on here? Why is a Nifty contract trading on the Singapore Stock Exchange? After all, if someone wants to trade Nifty, why won't they just trade it on NSE? Why go all the way to Singapore for that? So there are two types of investors or traders for whom it makes sense to trade SGX Nifty. First are those traders who live outside India. See, because of these international regulations, it is almost impossible to trade derivatives in any other country besides your own. So those traders who live outside India, they cannot trade Nifty 50 on National Stock Exchange. Therefore, SGX Nifty becomes a great alternative for them. And second are these foreign institutions who have investments in India. See, what happens is the mutual funds of many countries have a significant portfolio in India because India is a growing economy. And in order to protect their portfolio against some unlikely event, they create hedging positions in SGX Nifty, especially during the hours when our own Indian markets are closed for trading. Now, apart from these two, I'm sure there are other reasons for trading in SGX Nifty, but these are the two primary ones. Now that we understand what SGX Nifty is, let's answer some commonly asked questions about it. The first one is, how do I track SGX Nifty? See, the best source for tracking SGX Nifty and its prices is through moneycontrol.com. Now, there are other alternative ways. For example, you can go to Singapore Stock Exchange's website, or you can go to other websites like investing.com. But the accuracy of prices that you will find on moneycontrol.com is uncanny and the data is synced up pretty much all the time. So it's better you stick with moneycontrol.com. Now the next question is very interesting and very commonly asked. Can I trade SGX Nifty? Well, that depends on where you live. If you are an Indian resident, you cannot trade SGX Nifty. As a matter of fact, if you live in India, you cannot trade any derivatives outside India. That's the law. However, if you are an NRI, there is a possibility that you can trade SGX Nifty. It will depend on the laws of the country that you are living in. The next very commonly asked question is that what is the market timing for SGX Nifty? In contrast to the Indian markets that are open for just about 6 hours, Singapore Stock Exchange is practically open for 24/7. Specifically speaking, the trading happens in SGX in these two time slots. They are called T and T+1. And as you can see here that investors can trade in SGX Nifty day and night with very little interruptions. And that is probably one of the reasons why it is so popular outside of India. Now let me answer a very important question for all of you. And the question is, what is the importance of SGX Nifty for an Indian trader? See, the most important reason we even discuss about SGX Nifty is because every morning it gives us a sense of how our Indian markets would open. If SGX Nifty is indicating a big gap up or gap down, Indian traders mentally prepare themselves for their action plan when the market actually opens. So instead of waiting till 9 o'clock, they get this additional couple of hours to get their game plan ready. Now, apart from that, there are some traders who track SGX Nifty even during night times, but I don't really see a lot of value in doing that. Now let me answer a very important question for us. Does our market open at the same level where SGX Nifty is trading? So for example, if SGX is trading as let's say 12,500, does it mean that Nifty will also open at 12,500? Ideally speaking, both Nifty and SGX Nifty should trade at the same levels, but in reality, it doesn't happen many times. In fact, based on my experience, a lot of times SGX Nifty can be very misleading. There are days when I have seen that SGX Nifty has indicated a large gap up of 100 points or 200 points. But when our market actually opened, the actual gap turned out to be very small. So it's a good idea to keep track of SGX Nifty so that at least you are mentally prepared. But blindly following SGX Nifty is also not a good idea. Now, some of you have asked this question that how does SGX Nifty work? Is its value calculated or derived? So the answer here is very simple, guys. Just like the price of a stock is decided by supply and demand, the price of the SGX Nifty contract is decided by supply and demand and not by any calculation. So if there is a heavy demand for that contract, the price of SGX Nifty will go higher. And if the suppliers are being more aggressive, the prices will go lower. It's basically economics 101. Now here is an interesting trivia about SGX Nifty. SGX Nifty is a very popular product among foreign investors and traders, and that means that Singapore Stock Exchange makes a lot of money off of it. And that has become a bone of contention between Singapore Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange because of course Nifty is NSE's product. So both of these stock exchanges have been in a bit of a tussle, and it all went to a point in 2018 when NSE refused to provide real-time data to SGX and the matter went for arbitration. But that was all in the past. The good news is that it looks like both the parties are coming to a reasonable solution soon. Anyway, going back to the big picture here, I hope that you have understood what is SGX Nifty and how is it important to Indian traders. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. And if you want to keep getting awesome content like this, subscribe to this channel right away.